Video 1. The USA government behind all the drug sales and law-breaking, and the law-breaking people doing the drug sales and doing the law-breaking. How the USA government is doing any and all this law-breaking and using the law-breaking people. Although they may ever admit it or they may ever deny it. We're going to be trying to put on several different videos on here. They'll be linked in some way or some form. Hopefully you'll be able to understand them. I'm just going to deal with the USA government and their law-breaking people doing the law-breaking against me. Ever since I was a little child, all pre-planned, everything set up throughout my life to where they are using laws and rules, trying to word it as though as if they're saying the laws and rules legally, and also breaking the laws and rules. They try to find a way to say law or rule so that it makes it look like they're doing law abiding, to try to make it look like I'm doing something illegal or law breaking, in order to harass me, to attack me for not using their drugs, their marijuana, for not drinking or smoking. They have did this to me ever since I was a little child. They figure they will find a way to say a law or rule to attack me for not doing those things, in order to attack me to do those things, so that they can cause me spiritual, mental, and physical hurt and harm. They do this not only to me, they could be doing it to any of you. Or of course, any of you could be participating, being that you're any of the government people or any of the law-breaking people that behave in these ways. We're going to be naming some names, and what has been said, these people may ever admit it, they may ever deny it. My life has been threatened. They have attempted to kill me several times throughout my life. They have also caused me much physical, mental, and physical hurt and harm. They have poisoned me. They have shot at me. They have ran me off the road. They have did lots of different things. They have even put poison in food. They have stolen from me. They have robbed me. They have used guns, knives. There has not been any USA government people that has ever did anything about it. I was attacked to non-tell on any and all them, so that they did all this law breaking to me. And then, although they are still attacking me, they told me go ahead and tell. They don't care. Who's going to do anything about it? So far, not any of them have did anything about it. In fact, whenever I have told, the law department refuses to do anything about it. Both male, female, cops, sheriffs, FBI. Of course, the lawbreakers aren't going to do anything about it. You know, there's even been lawbreakers that say, hey, hi, we're doing this law breaking against you. The USA government's not going to do anything about it because they told us to do the law breaking against you, and we'd get away with it because they're not going to do anything about it because they're using us to do the law breaking. Yes, of course. Then they do law breaking, rip me off, attack me, try to kill me. I call the law department doesn't show up. Why? They know it's me. They're not going to do anything about it. They do show up, then they lie. They say, we're going to arrest you for being drunk, although I do not even drink. Or, we're going to write it down that you're trying to file a false police report. You know, it's really amazing how they do that. I've had the cops slap me, steal from me, steal out of my wallet. I mean, you know, they just go to any and all these extremes, you know, because I do not use their drugs. Why would they want me to use their drugs? Well, you see, the USA government doing the law breaking and denying it, then they can say anybody's doing the selling or anybody's not. They take bribes and payoffs from the people that they allow to sell the drugs. They and their children do the drugs and sell the drugs. And that is why they all deny it. Yes, that is why they all are denying it, whether they're the government or they're law-breaking people. And that's why also many of you may know about them doing it. You see them doing it. What, you gonna tell? You know, here's some of the people involved. We're talking about out in liberal Kansas. Chuck Lucas, the sheriff, and his daughter. You know, she's a drug addict. You know, he takes all these drugs from people and he puts them in his evidence room. Yeah, and she goes and gets them and smokes them, all the drugs she wants. You know, he doesn't say anything about that at all, although he knows it. Yeah, you know it. But why? Because he's involved. Alright? So, who? Well, from the way we're to understand it, Chuck Lucas, the city, state, and federal government. Of course, Chuck Lucas, said to be sheriff, last known. The federal government said to Chuck Lucas, I don't know, what was I was probably way back whenever I was 6th grade, 5th grade. Of course, they had it all planned before then, too. Told Chuck Lucas that they, the city, state, and federal government, are going to use laws and rules to attack me, break laws and rules to attack me, and use the law-breaking people to either say laws and rules in some way or some form, or break laws and rules in some way or some form to attack me for being a good person. You know, as a little child and all throughout my life, although I still love America, I think America is a great place, but there's a lot of bad law-breaking people out there. Chuck Lucas was telling another lady in her house, the city, state, the federal government told him that they, the United States government, federal, city, state, are going to watch me say laws and rules to break laws and rules. They're going to use any law or rule and break every law and rule and use their law-breaking mafia, lawbreakers, to say laws and rules or break laws and rules to attack me for being a good person and to get me to use their drugs. And for not using their drugs. You know why? Because then they could get me to use their drugs. Then they could lie and call me a lawbreaker. Of course, that would be false because they're doing all the lawbreaking against me to get me to use their drugs. And then they could lie to call me a lawbreaker. Yes, but by getting me to use their drugs, then they can cause me hurt and harm. By attacking me for not using their drugs, then they can cause me hurt and harm. Cause me spiritual, mental anguish, mental hurt and harm, physical hurt and harm, and money and worldly material hurt and harm. By getting me to use their drugs, they then could either say I'm a druggie, and they'd be getting money and worldly material from me, using me like their puppet or pawn, whatever you want to say, and killing me dead. And anytime they want, they could say, you're using drugs, and get more money and worldly material from me. Although they're the ones behind all the drug sales, and they're the ones doing all the drugs. You know, also, their plans was supposedly to get me to sell drugs and get me to pay the bribes and payoffs to them. But I wouldn't do that. They wanted me to be in their law-breaking. Then, anytime they want, they use me as a pawn. See, if they get you to do the law-breaking, they attack you and they get everything from you, and they put the finger on you and they deny all their law-breaking. It's kind of like, they're smoking. They want to get you to smoke so that then if anything's said about somebody smoking, they say,